taken my two scaredy cat dogs on the plane. I just can't imagine doing that, but people do. So we want to know any general tips for flying with dogs, like do it, don't do it. Like,
Well,
have
I
you
had
done
an
it?
experience recently because I'm not going to lie, my little 6.5 pound Pomeranian is quite the little diva, but she's a very good little diva. She's not dramatic. And I took her with me when I went to see my parents in Florida. And let's put it this way, the stewardesses didn't even know she was there till we were leaving the plane. So she was very good. And I have
Oh.
pictures of her just sitting under there looking out the side of her crate, but she was really good. And she just laid there, and actually she slept because it was the first time I'd ever done anything like that too. So I was a little worried about, what's going to happen with her ears. Are they going to pop? Are they, is she going to get panicked? Is she going to get nauseous? Because of some of the things that people would experience, right?
Absolutely.
So, I did give her a little bit of Benadryl, and it just seemed to take a little bit of the effect off. And then actually on the way back, I didn't have any Benadryl, and I had some CBD, so I gave her a little bit of that. And that seemed to help too. Again, and we had 2 flights. We had to change planes. She did really well.
And she was just at the floor.
Yeah, she's a carry-on, so they slip under. And I had to pay extra to take her. So, and I was surprised my boyfriend agreed to it, but it's okay. So
he knows you're serious about your dog.
Yeah,
that's good, exactly.
Right? And he knows. But I don't know that I would ever, unless I actually had to, I don't know that I'd put my Aussie on a plane. I think that you've got circumstances where it has to happen, where people are moving to other countries or different parts of the country, that kind of thing. Just, I would ask a lot of questions. They're supposed to be pressurized areas that they're in, but I'd want to know details about that. If my dog was going to be there, are there crates secured down? Like, how do they do that? Like, what do they do? I don't recommend that you heavily sedate, and I don't think the airlines like it if you heavily sedate your dog for travel, even in the cargo, because they can't respond to things as well as they should be. And especially if they get nauseous and vomit, they could choke. So you don't want that, but you can do something again, like Dramamine or, Benadryl or Trazodone, CBD, any of those kind of things, even the Adaptil. The Adaptil shouldn't even sedate. That doesn't even sedate them. So, some of those can just help them get through it, but you want to be careful with that. Just make sure you've got the proper, because I've heard some of the biggest challenges for people is that they didn't have the proper crate for flying. You need to make sure you know that. You need to make sure you don't have to have a health certificate to get them into the state, because if you're traveling by car, the likelihood of you needing a health certificate is pretty low unless you're crossing a border into, because I go back and work to Canada, there you have to have proof of rabies. But if you're moving to another state, or if you're flying your pet, you do have to have health certificates. You have to have proof of vaccination. You have to those. So you want to make sure you're planning ahead. Don't just assume. And again, your pet. So you'll just have to, if you pay attention to what triggers anxiety in your pet, then you should be okay. It just, I'm not going to tell you it won't be stressful for them, and there's not necessarily a lot you can do, but a lot of them do a lot better than people assume they will too.